Look at this. This is engraved directly onto 304 stainless steel material using the xTool F2 Ultra UV. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get photo results just like this. And I'm going to give you the material settings to do it. So we're going to focus on preparation. We're going to focus on preparing your material and focusing on a shiny surface. We are going to then move on to xTool Studio, where I'm going to teach you how to get your image optimized, how to get it to look the best possible way. All the image adjustments will be included. Everything is internal of xTool Studio, which will allow you to get crisp, sharp, and contrasting engravings onto your stainless steel. So if you've ever struggled with engraving photos onto stainless steel, this is the video for you. Make sure you stick around because this is filled with nuggets of information all the way to the end. And I have a bonus tip at the end, so stick around and we will get straight to it. So we're going to start off talking about material. This is a sheet directly from xTool that you can get. I believe it's 150 by 150 millimeters. It comes with this protective coating and it is 304 stainless steel. So that is what we're doing. A lot of the dog tags you buy will be the same material. So this protective cover will keep it nice and clean. But if you have one without that, then what I recommend is giving it a clean with a 99.9% isopropyl alcohol and a cloth before doing it, to get it nice and clean, but we don't need to do that. Let's move on. In terms of placement, I will be just laying it on the bed. What I will say is if you've got this protective cover, I recommend doing the focus whilst you have it on it because it's a little bit easier to see it, and maybe just subtract 0.1 millimeters or 0.01. So what we need to do first is obviously peel this off. You just grab it by the corner, scratch it a little bit and it'll come off. So you can see this is a highly reflective material and a lot of people recommend, and it's a good recommendation, always offsetting so that when the laser's coming down, it's not bouncing directly back up on itself. In my case, I am just going to have it directly underneath it because I have been testing and it has been all right. So as I said, to focus the laser on the F2 Ultra UV, we are going to be using the arrows on the touchpad. And if you press up, for example, you'll see the laser head will move up. If you press down, it'll move down. And we want to basically adjust it until those two dots are overlapping just like so. So let's move on to xTool Studio. So here we are on xTool Studio. We are going to begin as we always do by clicking that new project button in the top right. That will connect to xTool Studio and it should connect to your machine. You'll hear a beep. It will update the photo as you can see right there, and we are now good to begin. So one point to note is we have already focused the laser manually. However, we are going to do an automatic focus as well, which is this button here. What we're going to do first though is change the material. So by default, we have an unknown material. This is 304 stainless steel. So if we move over here, we have a default setting in xTool library, which is called 304 stainless steel. If you click on that and then click apply, what it will do by default is change things when we start adjusting material settings, and that is what we want. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and use the autofocus feature, and that is located here, and it should in theory turn the lights off, move the focus of the laser up and down until it determines the optimum height. But with shiny surfaces, it doesn't always happen. Let's see what happens. So it's turned the lights off, it's trying to find it, and it has said autofocus failed. I'm glad it has shown you that, and I will show you it because this is a real problem you might encounter with transparent materials and shiny materials. What I recommend is getting a piece of paper, and I might show you it now just so you can experience it the same way and you know how to deal with this yourself. So you'll see our two dots aren't joined up in this case, just so I can show you. I have a standard piece of paper, and a piece of paper is 0.1 millimeter thick. What I do, and this just makes it easy to do it, I'll rest it on top and then I'm going to focus manually until those two dots join up. As you can see, they do right there. And now we're going to go back over to our software. So now that we've done that, we're going to move over here, and it should have updated this number because we've been manually focusing. It is saying 3.1 millimeter, but a thickness of a piece of paper is 0.1 millimeter. So I am going to change that manually to 3, press enter, it's adjust, and now we know we are optimized on the surface of the metal. This trick works for transparent materials like glass as well. So let's move on to the next step. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to import our image, and we'll do that by clicking on the little plus icon there. So here we have our photo. I'm going to open it and you're going to see it's the man himself, Mr. Bean. But in this case, we have a white background. If we try to engrave that now, it will try to also engrave the white background, which is not what we want. We want to cut out the background from the image. So I'm going to show you a way to do that and a free piece of software that allows you to do it. And let's move on to that now. So this is a website I use called Adobe Express. It is free to use it. You can make an account. The reason I like it is it does a great job. And like I said, it's free. So what we want to do is click on that upload your photo button. Then I'm going to find my photo, which is in the Mr. Bean folder. We're going to open it up, and what it should do is open it up and automatically recognize the areas that aren't part of the photo, as it's done right there, which is perfect. Then we are going to zoom up here and click that download button, click it again, and it's going to download it, and we're good to go. We're going to import that photo into our xTool Studio now. So now we're back into xTool Studio. I'll delete that one out. We'll click on the import button again, and we'll go to downloads, and there we have it. We have Mr. Bean without a background, and that's great. One thing I also like to do is I like to click on this crop button here, and I like to crop the lines as close to him as possible, which is just the top in this case. So we're good. Now what we want to do is we want to resize the image so that it fills out this stainless steel. If you're doing something small, it'll be the other way around, but I'm going to really fill this out so that it really tests the limit of this. So to do that, I'm going to click on the handle in the middle, and what that does is if you left click and drag, it will uniformly make it bigger. If you did just drag one of the corners, what it will do is it will make it uniformly bigger, but in one direction. I want it in the center of our design so that I can just do that and fill it out. And as you can see, simple as that, nice and easy. Our position of our image is good. Our size is good. Now we can move on to preparing the actual image to be engravable. Now this takes us back to our material selection. You're probably wondering why I selected that at the start. Well, this plays into our image adjustment, and let me tell you why. So if we click on our image, up here, you're going to see an adjust button, all right? Click on that. Then on the left side over here, by default, you can manually change things. And what I will say is when you are engraving onto stainless steel, your image needs to be very specific. The contrast, the brightness, it's all quite hard to get right, and it's a bit of an art. What I like to use is the auto adjust feature. And if I zoom out, just so you can see it, if we click on that, it's going to see the material over there, and it's going to think, I need to do this to make this engrave the best way on stainless steel. And in this case, it has tweaked the contrast, tweaked the brightness. It's made it what it deems optimized for stainless steel, which is great. That is exactly what we want. At this point, I will say stay till the end of the video because I'm going to give you a tip that is going to make you really nail this every time. But at this point, we are ready to now frame this item because as you can see, our material is not straight. So the way we will do that is by clicking the framing button down here. And we're going to just, in this case, we're going to go for a rectangular outline. This will allow us to straighten it up and get good positioning. So we're going to click on that framing button, then let's move over and we'll see if it's straight. So hopefully you can see it's not quite straight. So whilst it's framing, I am going to manually adjust it so that it is straight along this bottom edge here. And now that looks absolutely perfect. Okay, so we've done that. Let's update the image. So we're going to turn off framing first. Then we are going to click the camera icon, and what it should do is readjust it. And as you can see, we are now pretty much spot on with our straightness. The next step is for material settings. So let me tell you how I get these material settings first. I like to start off with an image of Reacher. Normally I use this image because the contrast is good. And I think one of these was the first settings I used. I'll take those settings and then I'll adjust them, and then I'll do another face and another face. And you can probably see I've done so many iterations. And I think the one that I ended up going with in this case produced this image here. Hopefully it's clear enough to see it. But I just wanted to show you this so you know that I don't just blindly give you settings. I put a lot of testing time into this to try and give you the best settings possible. Now let me show you what those settings are. Okay, so here we are. Let's move on to this. So this is something I have done the testing for. I just showed you that. So I've already set this up as a material in this area here, as you can see. If you want to learn how to do that and how to make your own material settings, check out the tutorial videos on my channel because there are loads of them showing you how to do this. So let's stop for a minute. I just want to give you a quick message. So I am making these videos to help you guys hit the ground and make your own dreams of owning your own business come true. So if you want to support the channel and give a little something back, please subscribe, please like, please comment down below. And if you are interested in getting an xTool machine like the F2 Ultra UV, then check out the affiliate links in the description below. It really helps support this channel and it allows me to keep on making these videos for you. Let's get straight back to it. So let me show you these settings then. So in this case, we are doing 650 dot duration, 100% power, 1000 DPI and 40 frequency, and we're using using Jarvis bitmap mode. Now, let me tell you, this will not be the quickest engraving in the world, but that's because it's such a big image. What you can do is see it from all angles and get a crisp design. So let's move on. What we're going to do next is click on that process button and see how long this will actually take. So there you go. It's generating the time in the top right. You can see with these bigger files sometimes. So it does take 2 hours and 34 minutes. Obviously, that's a huge image. If you're doing a small dog tag or a small piece of material, it's going to take a fraction of that time. So what we'll do next is we're going to click that start button. You should hear it beep behind me once it sends a file through, and then we're good to go. So we're all prepped, but before we do that, I just want to run through a few safety things. I am going to be engraving with the cover up, but I will be wearing safety glasses. So do not try and attempt that yourself unless you wear them. Make sure you always close that lid for safety. And then finally, I have extraction. Even though it's stainless steel and it produces very little, it is still producing particles. Get yourself a pre-filter if you want to try and prolong the life of your air purifier. So anyway, let's move on. So there you have it. We have our finished engraving of Mr. Bean. So that bonus tip you're waiting for, now is the time, okay? So you'll probably notice on this one, there are some shiny elements on there. So my bonus tip to you is to make your image a little bit duller, reduce that contrast a little tiny bit. And if you see black on a picture, it means it's probably going to be shiny on a stainless steel surface. So you need to make sure that you get those tweaks on your adjustment settings to get the best possible contrast, because you want to ultimately avoid these kind of shiny marks right here. So there we have it. You now know how to engrave onto stainless steel. If this video has been helpful to you today, please consider subscribing and liking. And also, if you want to support the channel and support me being able to make more of these videos for you, consider buying via the affiliate link if you were going to buy anyway. Also, if you want to join as a member to the channel, then feel free to do it. You get early access to videos. You get discounts on all of the jigs that I make and sell. You get a lovely little badge next to your name, and most importantly, you're really helping me make more of these videos for you guys going forward. So without further ado, have an absolutely amazing day, and thank you for watching.